Welcome back, everybody. We have a fun program here. It's called Hey, I'm Walking Here. Did I do that right?
You did. You
Oh,
did it
good.
right. You could have pounded on the table a little bit. I do that regularly. Outside, we have a crosswalk, and this is a very small town, and we are on a hill, and people just speed right down that hill. And by the way, they aren't the youngsters doing it. The youngsters get tickets. It's the older people that do it, and you have to be really careful. So I regularly say, "I'm walking here." But
That's from a movie, by the way.
that's right. It's from Midnight Cowboy, and it's a generational thing. So I wanted to share just kind of a thought about, what's so fantastic about this hobby is that you can collect, say, a Jameau, or a Steiner, or a Brew, or many German dolls. It goes on, and you could collect them in certain classifications, like talking, phonographs. How about walking?
Walking is great.
So walking movement has been very important in dolls since probably the beginning of a doll ever being made. But the granddaddy of the whole movement with dolls, and I'm just showing you a teeny weeny portion, was Jules Nicholas Steiner. And as Rachel knows, and I know, and probably a lot of your virtual attendees know, that Francois Thymer is working on a new book on Jules Nicholas Steiner, who started out as a clockmaker and then took his genius to France and set up his doll making business. So besides the wonderful bébés and lady dolls and things that he did, he also was working with movement. So really the first bébé would be the gigoteur. And this bébé was made before any Jameau, Brew, any of those people were making dolls. And this is the gigoteur.
She's getting giggy with it.
And she's getting giggy with it. Now, it's actually not walking, but the movement is like walking. And if you put a dress on it, it could be a little girl or it could be a baby, because you can see you've got the leg movement. But I'm going to show you one nude, because then you can really see. With the little rotund body.
How cool is that?
And then if you put it in the other direction, now it's crying. And gigoteur means agitated. But really the motion is full-on walking, I think. Don't you, Rachel?
Absolutely.
And you can move the
So
arms.
fascinating.
You can move the arms to be in a different... I'll give it some more juice. By the way, when you have these mechanical items, don't be afraid to work them. The more you work them, it's better for them. It's not good for them to sit not working. They're a basic clock movement. But
How
I think that this
fantastic
is
to
just
see.
really, really a cute piece. Now, another little pep talk. So this would be the earliest child type of walking doll. Now, technically, we call this a waltzer, but it's also, if I can find the key, how to start it, that's always a challenge. So she's doing Mama. By the way, it's basically a French fashion head with an open mouth, which is kind of rare. And the hands, you have the same movement that you can move the hands, but then you see it has the wheels. I'll give it some more.
She's wonderful. And a lot of times the mama isn't as distinctive and clear. This is
Well, I
really
think
clear.
that what we try to do is with all our automatons, we go and have them serviced. Because, it's too much for, say, a client of ours to get it, and they can't do that. So we try to, and usually it's the first time the item has been serviced since it was made. So that really helps get them going. But, this will, we have got carpet here and we've got slick hardwood floors. so there's not a lot of grip. But if you put this on like linoleum flooring, you
She's out of there.
better watch it, because she will go flying. Now, if you're putting together a comprehensive collection of, say, and some people do this, and I actually think it's fascinating, where they're going to do the Steiner dolls, or they're going to do the Jumeaus, and they're going to have a order in every mold type, et cetera, and they want to very. We have an accountant here. What is that? Numerical.
Chronological. What?
Chronological, or by numbers? Isn't that numerical?
That's numerical.
Numericals. So they want to do things numerical and chronologically. Sometimes some dolls aren't enough for me. It's like I know I need that in the group, but it's not enough. But then when you take something like this, where it's a very sweet open mouth Steiner, figure, it's a figure A with an open mouth. This wouldn't be enough for me. She's not exciting enough. But she's wearing these cute little hot pants.
Look at those little hot pants.
Look at that. She's got hot pants. And so now she's just become
look at her
that
go.
much more interesting.
She's doing the can.
Yeah. And you can readjust the legs. So now I am totally.
Are you interested?
Now I'm interested. So it just makes it funner. And some of these things, they're actually really rare.
Mm-hmm.
They're rare because if you think about it, so much could go wrong that they would have been thrown out.
Let's take a peek at the mark too, just to let our viewers see what that mark looks like. You can take a screenshot. How wonderful.
And it's a beautiful doll. I don't mean to diss her in any way, but it's not as exciting as some molds that are rarer. But then when you put it all together, it's really kind of neat. And then to have the label, which it was
on blue.
On blue. And she basically has the same movement that this one does. And this one is a roulé and decamp. I'm not going to show her, because then I'd have to get up in her dress. And her dress is totally original doll, but fragile, so I don't want to show it. But here's what's great too, is how they did. So when she starts moving, we've got this. It's a 1079. She's got the movement.
Oh, she's in beautiful condition. Look at those eyelashes.
Think about the movement in these dolls. Even today, in the computer age that we have, automaton movement is something that it even excites these hard kids today.
Mm-hmm.
They see the magic and they want to know, how did you do it, because it's not plugged in. They don't understand clock mechanisms and things.
It's extremely innovative.
It's a great genre, and again, these are actually dolls that are, not all of them, but they're affordable. You can find some really cute pieces out there for not, say the price of a Bru or a Jumeau. So they're a lot of fun.
I think these little overarching concepts, such as walking, it opens it up to being able to collect so many more different kinds
Absolutely.
of the same doll.
I mean, you could start.
Ginnies.
You could start in the 1950s.
Well, I guess
or the
Ginnies
1850s.
aren't mechanical,
And you could go from the 1850s, and you can go until last week.
Exactly.
And you could have a really very interesting. But I think that you have to see them work. Mm-hmm. And that's what a lot of people do. They're afraid of the not having them do their mechanical, and that's the best for them. That will save you. The more you play an automaton, it will save you from it ever having to go into a shop, because it's not unlike that clock on the wall that it needs to. We don't have it going because it drives me crazy, the ticking, but basically that clock needs to be working in order to
so don't be afraid to work it.
I'm walking here.
Work it and walk it.
Yeah.
That's right. That was so interesting. Thank you so much, Michael.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye, doll friends.
Bye-bye.